The man never expected it, just because he stayed up all night playing video games. The next morning, just as he was about to leave for work, he suddenly collapsed and died at his doorstep. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself reincarnated in another world, and he was now the young heir of a noble family, because he retained the memories of his previous life. Jack could read and write by the age of 3. At the same time, Jack discovered something unexpected. He possessed an extremely rare appraisal skill. As long as he focused and stared at someone, he could see that person's ability stats. Take the spearman in front of him, for example. Although his stats seemed average at first glance, his archer stats were actually at 80 level, yet he chose the weapon he was worst at, the spear. It was a complete waste of his natural talent, so Jack suggested he try using a bow instead. Although the soldier was a bit confused, but after seeing the eager look in Jack's eyes, he couldn't bring himself to say no.
まぐれだ、きっとまぐれだ。おい、ミル、もう一回やってみろ。おう。
Witnessing this scene, everyone gathered around him. Amidst waves of praise, the soldier followed Jack's advice and changed his class to archer. But what puzzled everyone was how Jack had seen through all of this. To avoid revealing his ability, Jack had to lie and say it was just intuition. But what he didn't expect was that by dinner time, the events of the day had already reached his father's ears. Fortunately, his father didn't press too hard. He simply told Jack to keep honing this talent-spotting intuition, because Jack was destined to inherit the family estate and become a lord. And identifying talent was one of the essential skills for that role. But his father had no idea that Jack's talent-spotting wasn't based on intuition at all. It was thanks to his cheat-like appraisal skill. Even his father's stats, Jack could easily appraise them. As for the world he had reincarnated into, Jack had already studied a great deal of information and discovered that his future was far from bright. Not only was he living in chaotic times, the Empire's government was deeply corrupt. It was obvious that it would eventually lead to war, and when that time came, everything he cherished would be destroyed by war. But if he started using his ability now to recruit talented people and prepare in advance, then in the future war, he might have a better chance at survival. So Jack rushed to the town that very day, activating his appraisal skill on everyone he met, just to find highly gifted individuals. But such people weren't easy to find. He used appraisal for hours without finding a suitable candidate. Even his own eyes started to ache from overusing the skill. But just then, a restaurant across the street shoved a young boy out the door. Seeing the disgusted looks from the people around, Jack immediately deduced that the boy was a foreigner from across the sea. Since most of them were slaves, they were heavily discriminated against here. Seeing how pitiful he looked, Jack kindly handed him a piece of bread. Luoli was suspicious of this sudden kindness, but when he saw Jack ignoring the strange looks from others and still offering him food, Luoli let down his guard. He took the bread and began eating ravenously, but at that moment, Jack's appraisal skill activated on its own. To his surprise, the boy's stats were at a general's level. Not only were his stats unexpectedly high, he had multiple S and A level talents. Most ordinary people were only at D level. Such overwhelming stats would surely make him a future powerhouse. Jack now had only one thought. He had to recruit this boy under his command. So after Luoli left, Jack secretly followed behind him.
ついてこない方がいい。大人に怒られる。
僕の家臣になってくれませんか？
え？
Luoli, upon hearing this, thought the other party just wanted to play make-believe, until Jack revealed his noble family crest. Only then did Luoli dare to believe the boy was serious, but he knew his own status was unusual, and didn't want to make things difficult for Jack, so he politely declined the invitation. Seeing talent about to slip away, Jack, in desperation, resorted to a food trap.
パンだけじゃ足りないですよね。僕の家、凄腕のシェフがいるので、美味しいご飯お腹いっぱい食べられますよ。ステーキやビーフシチュー、ミートパイにロールパン、あとワインやケーキもありますよ。
That's how Luoli was lured to Jack's home, but the maid only served him a bowl of bean soup. Luoli wasn't surprised by this at all, but what he didn't expect was, Jack not only placed his own meal in front of him, but also firmly told the servant, "This man is my most important retainer." However, when Jack's father learned of this, he rejected Jack's request, but seeing his son's repeated pleas, and recalling the previous archer incident, the father decided to give Luoli a chance, on the condition that Luoli would spar with him in a sword match. If Luoli could touch him within the allotted time, then he would make an exception and let him serve as a foot soldier. On the way to the training ground, Luoli asked Jack why he was going to such lengths to make him a retainer. After all, someone like him, wherever he went, would only face discrimination.
僕にはリーチさんが必要なんです。僕はいずれこの領地の当主になります。その時、僕の隣で力を貸してほしいんです。
頑張ります。
As the countdown began, the father launched an attack on Luoli. At the very moment their swords clashed, Luoli felt an immense pressure. His instincts told him, even if hit by the opponent's wooden sword, he would likely still be injured. And not only was the opponent strong, his speed was astonishingly fast. Luoli was overwhelmed and couldn't fight back. A slight opening led to him being knocked down. With time running out, Luoli looked toward Jack, thinking of how much Jack believed in him. He didn't want to betray that trust.
遠慮なく行かせていただきます。
リーチさん、表情が変わった。
貴様の剣は見切った。 相手だ。終わりだ。あの一撃かすってたのか。レーブン様に一撃入れたぞあいつ。本当に何者なんだあのマルカ人は。
The father said Luoli truly had talent and would surely become an outstanding swordsman. He also praised Jack's sharp judgment. He had been worried about his son's future in troubled times, but now it seemed there was no need to worry. As for Luoli, his excellent performance made the soldiers drop their prejudice. It was the first time Luoli had ever been treated this way. After that, besides his duties as a soldier, he even changed into servant's clothes and voluntarily took on the task of caring for Jack's daily needs. Next, Jack would use his unique talents to continue discovering new talent.